So this was the go home show. So this was it, huh? This was our go home show for Royal Rumble. Okay, so first off, I want to mention a few things. There'll be a couple of videos coming today as well. I'll be doing my Royal Rumble predictions and maybe my Worlds Collide if I'm interested in it. But there's also another video I want to make that is about the women and how they're cutting the term woman from their titles. Because I've been hearing a lot of people talk about that. So I'll be making a video about that today. So there'll be a couple of videos that I'll be releasing today. And yeah, so I'll probably start working on them after I'm done with this review. So let's get this review started. The quicker we get this done, the quicker I can do my other videos. So the show started off with Roman Reigns and the Usos taking on King Corbin, Dolph Ziggler, and Robert Roode. I mean, here, look at this. You have Robert Roode get suspended, right? Robert Roode gets suspended. He comes back, and he's still the same guy. He's still jobbing to everybody. I mean, why isn't Dolph Ziggler taking the pins? I mean, Jesus Christ. Get Robert Roode away from King Corbin and Dolph Ziggler. This company really needs more mid-carders. Robert Roode would be perfect for the mid-card. He would make a perfect Intercontinental Champion. He would. He literally would. Because I feel like he has that potential to be Intercontinental Champion. Sure, he's old and he's in his 40s, but that doesn't mean. Sure, he's old and he's in his 40s, but that doesn't mean he can't be a champion. He still has what it takes to be a champion. The Intercontinental title would be perfect for him. As for King Corbin, I don't really care. He can probably be a mid-carder as well, and so could Dolph Ziggler. I just want everything to be evened out. I feel like Roode and Ziggler is a waste of a tag team. I mean, they haven't even competed in a tag team match. All they are is just King Corbin's lackeys. They're not even a tag team anymore. They're just King Corbin's little lapdogs. That's all they are now. We had Lacey Evans being interviewed, and Bayley ends up attacking. And Lacey Evans, I feel like she's gotten a lot better as a babyface. And I'm not like all those other people where I'm just gonna shit on it before it even gets a chance to lift off the ground. I mean, she is starting to get some reactions from the crowd, not as much, but she is getting a reaction. I feel like Sasha and Bayley have been doing their job. I feel like they have been doing their job getting Lacey over, but not as much. They are getting there though. I feel like they are doing a good job. At least for a while. At least for a while they were. So then Carmella and Dana Brooke announced themselves in the Women's Royal Rumble. About time. We need more women to announce themselves in. Surprised Sasha Banks hasn't yet. But while they were being interviewed, Lacey Evans and Bayley begin their attack. Were brawling backstage. No Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks wasn't even on the show. Now, I'm okay with Sasha Banks not being on every show. Okay? I'm perfectly fine with her not being on every show, her not being on the show every week. I'm perfectly fine with her not being there every week. She doesn't have to be there every week. If they've got nothing for her, there's no reason for her to be there. So I thought I was okay with the fact there was no Sasha as well. So I was perfectly fine with that as well. So then we move on from that brawl to Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross versus Fire and Desire, Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. And as soon as this match starts, it's over. As soon as this match began, it was immediately over. It was over literally seconds. Do you want to know how the match ended in seconds? Lacey Evans and Bayley continued their brawl all the way out to the ring. I mean, I clearly saw Carmella and Dana Brooke holding Lacey Evans back. Am I correct? How the hell did Dana Brooke and Carmella lose their grips on Lacey Evans? In reality, they should have been with her. They really should have been with her because they were holding her back. They were literally trying to hold her back like this. They were trying to hold her back from Bayley. So this was completely stupid to me. People like to run around. People on the internet love to run around calling this women's evolution a forced agenda. Yeah. A women's match ending in 5 seconds is clearly a forced agenda. Seriously, I am so goddamn tired of people calling this division a forced agenda when it's never has been. It never has been an agenda, and it never will be an agenda. These are the same people that wanted the women to have equal rights. You people want the women to have equal rights in WWE? Cage matches, chamber matches, Royal Rumble matches, everything that the men has ever been given. But you call this division a forced agenda. Yeah, bullshit. This division has never been a forced agenda. This division has been treated like piece of shit for ages. And I'm goddamn sick of it. Despite the fact that they were in the main event last year, it didn't help their case in 2019. They were still treated like a piece of shit even after the main event at WrestleMania. So give me a break with your stupid forced agenda nonsense. Good grief, man. Also, people like to talk about how... I should have spoken about this when I talked about Roman Reigns earlier. I'll get to that now before I move on to this next one. People still call Roman Reigns shoved down our throats. But I find it funny because Roman Reigns has had so many terrible storylines. I mean, how many storylines have you guys seen Roman Reigns in? And how many of them have you said were good? Probably the only closest to good storyline for Roman Reigns was the who ran down Roman Reigns incident. Who attacked Roman Reigns before it was revealed as Eric Rowan. I think that had potential to be a really good storyline, but they ended up blowing it at the end. But I'm telling you, every single Roman Reigns storyline that they have done from now has been awful. So how could a guy who's been shoved down our throats have terrible storylines? And he hasn't been in the title picture since. The leukemia's gotten him over, and people call the leukemia incident fake, which I find hilarious. You can't fake cancer. You never can fake cancer. But yeah, people still say Roman Reigns is shoved down our throat, but yet he's in the mid-card. Okay. I'm still not a big fan of Roman Reigns, but at least I've grown a little bit more respect for him. Just a little. Next we had Braun Strowman and Elias versus Shinsuke Nakamura and Cesaro. Again, I want to talk about this. I'm not a fan of this pairing of Shinsuke Nakamura, Cesaro, and Sami Zayn. I mean, I get why Sami Zayn's with Nakamura. I get why. I get why he's there, okay? I can understand why he's there because, you know, because Nakamura needs a mouthpiece. He needs someone to talk for him. But Sami Zayn isn't injured. As far as I know, Sami Zayn isn't injured or he's not retired from in the ring. He can clearly still wrestle. Why can't Shinsuke, Cesaro, and Sami Zayn all be singles guys on their own in the Intercontinental Championship picture? Like I mentioned to you guys before about Robert Roode. Why they need to start building more talents around the Intercontinental Championship. They need to start building up more Intercontinental Championship contenders. I mean, honestly. Honestly, to God, how are they not doing that? Braun Strowman should not be Intercontinental Champion. I mean, let's think about it. Let's think about this logically, guys. If Braun Strowman was to win that championship, no one can defeat him. Who are you going to give him? Who are you going to give him after Shinsuke Nakamura? You can't have him feud with Shinsuke Nakamura for the rest of the year. Braun Strowman, if he becomes the Intercontinental Champion, there's going to be nobody on the roster logical enough to beat him. Unless you bring back Lars Sullivan. And yes, I know nobody would want to see a Lars Sullivan-Braun Strowman feud. Neither do I. This is why I think Braun Strowman should not win the Intercontinental Championship. Braun Strowman should be a main eventer only. He should be competing only for the main event, for the Universal Championship. Shinsuke Nakamura should be putting over someone like Mustafa Ali. Or Robert Roode. Like I said before, like Robert Roode. Sheamus. You got Chad Gable. You got so many guys that are potential Intercontinental Champions, but you're putting all your attention on Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman shouldn't win the Intercontinental Championship because it's not logical for him to do it. If he was the champion, it would take someone like Lars Sullivan to beat Braun Strowman. But then if you got the title on Lars Sullivan, you're in the same situation. Who the hell's gonna beat him? These monster characters like Lars Sullivan, like Braun Strowman, should only be contested for the Universal Championship. Well, just the main title in general. Shinsuke Nakamura should be putting over someone like Mustafa Ali. Someone young. Someone young who deserves an opportunity. Chad Gable. Like I said before, the Cesaro and Sami Zayn. I'm really hoping Cesaro and Sami Zayn eventually turn on Shinsuke Nakamura. I want the old Shinsuke Nakamura back. And no, just because you turn him babyface doesn't mean he needs to have his old music again. You can still have his current music, but he can still be a babyface. It's just so stupid to me. Like, they've got so many contenders for the Intercontinental Championship, but they would rather give it to someone like Braun Strowman. It is downright stupid. John Morrison takes on Kofi Kingston. I like John Morrison. I really do. I was a big fan of his back in the day, and I feel like he still hasn't lost a beat. I feel like he hasn't lost much of a step at all since his return. He had a great match with Kofi Kingston. John Morrison got the win. And that's great. I'm glad they're building him up. As they should. As they should. You can't have John Morrison lose when he's just come back. Hopefully John Morrison and The Miz eventually become SmackDown Tag Team Champions. As much as I don't like The Miz, I feel like he and Morrison becoming Tag Team Champions is definitely something more fresh and different than just having the New Day hold them all the time. Then we had the main event, which was the contract signing, and I'm going to be honest with you guys, I really didn't care. This is supposed to be Daniel Bryan and The Fiend. And I'm supposed to care about this, but honestly, I really didn't. I really didn't care about this. The Fiend signed the contract in his own blood by stabbing the pen through his hand. And Daniel Bryan was beaten down by the strap, by The Fiend. The Fiend just dominated Daniel Bryan. Is that WWE telling us that Daniel Bryan is going to find a way to defeat The Fiend? Who knows at this point? But all I'm saying is, right now, I really don't care about this. And this was the final, and this was meant to be the final episode. And this was meant to be the final episode of SmackDown before the Royal Rumble. I really didn't find anything interesting at all throughout this entire show. I honestly didn't. And I feel so damn terrible for the women being treated like a bunch of little bitches. It's just stupid, man. It was just so damn stupid. It just drives me crazy how people call this women's division or women's evolution a forced agenda. But, you know, shit like this happens to the women. Yeah, forced agenda my ass. Anyway, guys, that is all I got for you guys for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hit that thumbs up. And I'll see you all. And I'll do the rest of those videos that I said I'll do. See you guys then.